Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Xuan Kai and I'm a day trader from Singapore. So in this video, I'll be sharing a very nice win that I took in March on Tesla. So I'll be explaining the full reasoning for trading Tesla, my full trading plan, and followed by a live day trade. If you stick all the way to the end of this video, you'll be able to see exactly how much I won in just a few minutes of trading Tesla options. If you want to watch more day trading or investing videos, or you want to watch me day trade live on Fridays on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Trading wins definitely feel good and you feel like you're at the top of the world. You feel like anything that you touch, it becomes gold. But that really isn't the truth. It just means that you were lucky to get in at that point of time. Maybe your analysis was right and your timing was right. That is all. That one win doesn't mean that your next trade is going to be a win. It doesn't mean the next trade is going to be a loss either. It just means that this one trade worked out, and that is all. If you watched the previous video that I uploaded on my channel, you'll be able to see that I had a very nice win on Tesla. And because of that prior day's win, I started to make some mistakes in today's trade that would have been very detrimental in the long run if I were to continue these habits. So hopefully this video can help you guys to identify a good setup and also hopefully develop good long-term habits in the future so that your trading goes a little bit more smoothly. So now let's get into the video. So as usual, starting out the day, we want to see things from a top-down approach, meaning seeing the big picture, which is what the overall markets are doing, because many stocks are generally largely affected by the movements of the overall markets. So as you can see from the charts, on the left hand side we have the Nasdaq and the right hand side we have SPY. So what is Nasdaq doing? You can see that Nasdaq, when it opened, it's more or less sideways action, and then now it's suddenly starting to trend up. And over here we have SPY, same thing, it's moving sideways as well, and then now it started to push higher. Yeah, so then after analyzing the charts, we got to read up on any potential news that might affect the market. So there wasn't much news, but the treasury bond yields were increasing today, and yet the markets were uptrending, which is a little bit weird because lately whenever the bond yields increased, people were concerned about inflation and interest rates increasing, and they were thinking that bonds were a little bit more stocks are a little bit more overvalued compared to bonds. Bonds will be able to get them a better rate at a lower risk. So most people will be going for the bonds instead of the stocks. That's why the stocks have been selling off. Yeah, so usually when the bond yields increase, the market would dump heavily because people will be start selling their stocks and then going to buy the bonds instead. So there's some divergence happening here, which makes me question whether this uptrend is really sustainable, as it might be just a small pullback before the market starts to dump again. Yeah, so then now let's zoom into Tesla. So what is Tesla doing on the charts? Over here we have the 1 minute time frame of Tesla, and over here we have the 5 minute time frame of Tesla. So as you can see, for Tesla, it started to downtrend first, but now it seems to be uptrending. It broke the previous downtrend and it's uptrending. So for the 5 minutes, same thing, you can see just a clearer picture over here, downtrending first and then now it's uptrending again. Yeah, so then we move on to read about news about Tesla. So I read that Tesla had a security breach today in their factory cameras, which could potentially explain why Tesla was downtrending in the first place. But as for the current uptrend, there was no real reason for it. Tesla could very well just be uptrending just because the market was uptrending for the meantime. So knowing all this, we'll be more equipped to trade Tesla whether on the upside or the downside. So now let's get into the live video. So as you can see here, I'm trading Tesla towards the downside. So as we mentioned before, the previous when the bond yields were increasing, it didn't make sense that the market was going up. So now the market is clearly coming down. This is where I entered 2 contracts of Tesla. So now after I'm entering, as usual, if you've been watching my videos, I'll be doing the trading plan. Right, setting my stop loss very nicely. So my entry is around the 687.19 area. The stop loss is around the 691.25 area. And my take profit is around the 679.54 area. So keeping in mind I have 2 contracts now. Usually I'll want to wait to add to my position, but for this trade it actually moved a little bit too aggressively in my direction, which is a good thing, just that I didn't get a chance to really add to my position. So as you can see, it's very nicely up. And then we see a nice small pullback now. I'm gonna set probably a support around here. So this is the part where I think I kind of screwed up a little bit. It actually moved so aggressively in my direction. I should have been locking in at least one contract at this point in time because it was so near the first take profit line. But yet I was a little bit greedy. As you can see from the options chart, I actually set a limit order. The previous video, I actually told myself that I would practice setting limit orders instead of using my hotkeys to execute at the middle between the bid and the ask. I actually want to hit the ask instead. So the good thing is at least I have moved my stop loss down, which is I was a little bit slow at moving the stop loss down. And I didn't really want to add to my position at this point in time as well because of how close it was to my take profit. So you can see it's very nicely coming down. Give it a little bit more time. As you can clearly see, the trend is going downwards, so there's nothing much to panic. Just need to see how things plan out. Of course, every time it spikes up, I'm actually a bit scared that it will hit my sort of stop loss. So this is good, a very nice push down. So once again, I set a limit order. Should have actually tried to exit a little bit earlier here. The take profit line is honestly just a region for me to take profit, to start taking profit. It's not like I hit it then I'll take profit. Yep, so this is where my first limit order got triggered, so I exited one contract here. On hindsight, I felt like maybe I should have added to this position. I'll have a little bit more profit, but you know, it's alright. Everything is easy to do from hindsight, you know. And now I'm still holding my one last contract just to see what's happening. As you can see, very nicely it started to push down again. So at this point of time, I really wanted to exit my second contract, which is what I did, because not so much because of Tesla. Of course it pushed out a little bit more, which is good, but it didn't hit my second take profit. But I took the profits anyway because I saw that there was like 5 straight candles on SPY and NQ, and usually when that happens, it's usually overextended, and I don't want to continue to hold the contract because the next thing that will come is usually a pullback after 5 downward candles on the market. So I don't want to be there for the pullback because my premiums will be hit. Yeah. So total for this trade, I earned about $257. Yeah. So then after that, we have to get into the journaling process. Yeah. So for this trade, it felt a bit unreal because I had a losing streak before this, and then 2 nice green trades came into play, and I was able to very nicely capitalize on them. Yeah. So I think that I should have entered a little bit earlier on Tesla, but then I hesitated too much because SPY was very near the pre-market support. So I didn't want to risk getting in there and seeing the price reject and reverse on me. So thankfully I didn't FOMO, and I waited for that level on SPY to break first, then waited for retracement, and then entered at the next break of the low of the day. Yeah, so the entry was great. I think it pushed down very vigorously towards my take profit. I definitely should have taken profit, at least on one contract when it was so close to my take profit point. Yeah, it would be good to definitely take some size off whenever it moves aggressively in my favor so that I can consistently be profitable. Yeah. And then I was also able to manage my position and move my stop loss down quite nicely. I didn't add to my position because it was already so close to my take profit, but that was okay. But I guess on hindsight, maybe it was still possible to really add to my position. Yeah, so second exit could have been a little bit more prompt. I think I was greedy for more profits, but I was glad that I was able to practice using the limit orders to get filled, which is why today I actually earned a little bit more than yesterday. Yeah, with just 2 contracts, I earned more than what I earned yesterday with 3 contracts. Yeah, so I use the limit order so that I get filled on the ask and not on the mid. Yeah, so not in a hurry to be filled, I can use the limit orders to really maximize my gains. Yeah, so I decided to exit the next contract as well because it was slightly past my first take profit, because I mentioned just now SPY was overextended with 5 to 6 red candles, so I decided to get out first instead of holding it through a pullback and be greedy for just a little bit more profit. Yeah. So now I can definitely feel myself getting a little bit more greedy and not being able to lock in profits as quickly as possible, wanting to earn the maximum amount of money that I can possibly get in every trade. So if I've locked in profits my usual way, I would probably earn maybe around $175 from this trade instead of $257 that I mentioned before. Yeah, but it won't always be so nice where it moves so strongly in my favor and I can catch the whole move and exit before the pullback. A lot of times it will push very close to my take profit, and then later it will just bounce back and reverse on me. Yeah, so if I do not have the habit to consistently lock in profits when it moves aggressively in my favor, I will get stopped out quite often. Yeah, so the proper habit for the long term is to stay green and consistently profitable, is to take profits whenever it moves aggressively in my favor. I could definitely make more money on hindsight as well if I were to add to my position, but as I mentioned before, that's all hindsight, and I'm glad I didn't add again because it was too close to my take profit. If it was a bit earlier, I'll be a bit more comfortable with adding, definitely. So emotionally, I think I was able to very well reset myself and tell myself midway through the trade to accept the risk. I was able to discipline myself afterwards and cut the trade if it didn't move in my favor. I was very ready to exit the position. Yeah, so technical wise, I think I was very good in waiting for SPY to break that pre-market support before taking the trade, and also took the next break on the lower day on Tesla very patiently, waited for a nice pullback before a good entry. Yeah, so my entries were good, I managed my positions well. I was waiting for a chance to add my position, but I didn't really feel comfortable for that. I did not enter at the initial break of the low of the day, and I waited for SPY to break its pre-market high. So these were all the things that I did well. So things to improve on: definitely starting to be a bit greedy, not locking in profits when the stock moves aggressively in my favor. So I will have to reset myself after this trade, which is what the journaling process is for. It's not about maximizing each and every trade and to earn the maximum amount of money from every trade. Of course, that would be nice. That would definitely be very nice, but the point is to consistently lock in profits so that I can come out green and be a consistently profitable trader. Don't be greedy for the max amount of profits, because the max amount of profits I can get from each trade, there's no point for that. Yeah, don't hesitate because it hasn't touched the take profit line. Just lock in profits whenever I can. Remember that the line is merely an indication of where I should be taking profit. That's all. Yeah, so all in all, I can't complain that having another $200+ winning day, I just had to reset myself and stop myself from getting greedy. Yeah. So the only thing that I have to remember is that the profits are not permanent, and just as they have come so easily and smoothly, they can actually disappear very quickly as well. Yeah. So far, I haven't really taken any losses on 2 contracts that much. Mostly have been one contract, so I was actually quite lucky that my losses were a little bit more smaller. So I have to be prepared for losses to come as well. Yeah, so as usual, just focus on the executions and not the P&L. So that's the end of the Tesla live recap. If you stayed with me all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Tell me how your March trading has been so far for you. March has been really choppy after these two trades that I've taken. Tesla hasn't been moving very well at all. The last 2 weeks of March was really tough for me to trade. So let me know in the comments how your trading has been in March, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!